Chet Davis back with another 12 tips for Christmas. In this session, what I'd like to do is show you how I create a collage, rather a montage, that I use for my DVD menus. I do this a lot when I do like school plays or music concerts and even my tutorial DVDs. I can do this both inside of the main menu, but I also use it inside of the stamps for a chapter menu. So let me walk you through this process. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to start, here's my finished storyboard. And what I've done is I've taken kind of each segment and created a separate film or a separate scene of that using the scene button. Let me show you how I do the finished piece. So here's my entire project broken up piece by piece by piece. And I like to do this as well because I find this is a very smooth, efficient, easy way, and actually a technically safe way, if you will, of creating a DVD menu. By creating the scene button and moving it over to a different project with the clipboard, it actually tends to purify or cleanse your project, and people that do this have fewer problems with DVD authoring. So let me show you how I do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this finished piece and make a new scene out of it. So I choose to do an image processing menu, left click on scene, and let's call this, I like to put an asterisk or star, and let's call this is my Media Manager tutorial, which is available on my website at CasablancaExpert.com. Walks you through the entire process of using the Media Manager. So I'm going to spin through this, and if you turn off your sound, you'll go much quicker. And one of the quick tips from Christmas last year was one where I showed you how you can actually use the end button on your keyboard to swiftly go through. So let me grab my keyboard here. So by left clicking on the out button and hitting the end button, END, on your keyboard, it takes you right to the end. So what I've done is I've just made a scene. So what pops up, there's the finished piece. See, 1 hour, 2 minutes, 53 seconds, and 29 frames. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the clipboard, okay, and add that scene. Click OK. I'm going to come back over to a different project. Film number 2, left click OK. So now we're in film number 2. We're going to come over here, and I'm going to use the clipboard, and I've retained or brought that scene over, okay? So that scene now sits inside my storyboard. Now what I want to do is I want to break it up into, usually I'll break it up into between 6 and 10 different scenes that become my finished montage inside of my main menu of the DVD. For today's purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and break it up into 3 separate pieces so you get the idea, and this tutorial doesn't take too long. So what I want to do is I want to extract or pull out 3 good representative samples of the video that people are about to see on this DVD. And what I do is I take the finished DVD time. Your DVD menu is going to be just under 59 seconds. That's like industry program, then it's particular to Arabesk as well. So under about 59 seconds, it's actually 59 seconds, and I do about 26 frames. I'm going to divide that up into 3, but I'm going to also do a 1 or 2 second transition in between them. So 60 seconds, I'm rounding up, 60 seconds divided by 3 gives me 20 seconds for each clip, but I want to add a couple seconds for the crossfader transition. So I'm going to actually pull out 3 scenes that are 22 seconds long. So I left click on split, and I'm going to click on split position. We turn off the audio. We don't need to have the audio on. And let's go ahead and go in here and find 3 different clips that are about 22 seconds long that are representative of this sample. So this was me showing people how to extract audio. So I'm going to drop that first part, and I'm going to scroll in now. When I get to, I want to pull off about 22 seconds. So there we are up in the corner there. You see 15, 16, 17. There's 22 seconds. So I left click on use. So I've just selected that part of the storyboard. Now I'm going to scroll in and go in a little bit different and select another or different 22 seconds worth of material. So let's go over here. That's the photo archives, and now we're doing the film archives. Let's drop that, and now let's select 22 seconds in here. Showing people how to load films from AVI files in the Media Manager. By the way, this is Casablanca Foolproof Volume 3, the use of the Media Manager. So we've used that. Now let's scroll and pick out 3 different, another 22-second clip. And this time, rather than import, we'll do the export side of things. Okay. Okay, this looks like a good segment right in here. So we'll drop the previous portion, and starting here, we're going to pull up these 22 seconds. And there's our 22 seconds. You could trim this later if you wanted to just get close. Okay, so now we've got, there's the Media Manager tutorial, and now I've got 1, 22 second, 2, 22 second, 3, 22 second, and then the remainder. We can just delete, get rid of that remainder. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these 3 to this storyboard, one behind the next, and I'm going to go over to the transition menu and add like a 2-second crossfade. You could use any effect, but I like the crossfade in this purpose. It's not for big show. Instead, it's more just kind of a feeling that I want to create for the DVD menu. Let's add that. Oops, got to click over here and add that so we have a 2-second transition. I'm going to come back over here to the Edit menu, okay, and render that crossfade, render that transition between those two. Now when I click on the information button, I can see that my storyboard is 1 minute and 2 seconds long. So it's a little bit longer than I want. So, and I have to make a scene of this anyway. So what I'm going to do is what I do. If you've been in my workshops or seen my tutorial DVDs, you know that I use the color bars a lot just to kind of separate content. So visually I get a good look. So, and that creates a space over here that's apart from the other. And I'm going to come back over here to image processing, left click on scene, and I scroll through and I want to bring up that whole piece, left click OK, and down in my scene bin, now here's the finished piece. And I want to trim off the first full second, so it's just down to 101, and actually 101, and I'm going to go 101.27, and I'm going to trim off the last second. You could do it anyway. There's no like gospel truth to this here. There we go. So we have our finished piece is 59 seconds 22. What I also love to do is name it right now. This is going to be my DVD button or DVD stamp. Okay, whatever nomenclature you're comfortable with. The company keeps kind of changing that up on us. So that's my DVD button. So let me go in now into Arabesk and show you what this looks like on the other side. When we launch DVD Arabesk, so we're inside DVD Arabesk now, and I've already added my film, so I'll assume you've added your film as well. And if you need help with that, I do have plenty of tutorials on DVD Arabesk, both inside my website for website members, subscribers, and also I have a tutorial, a comprehensive tutorial DVD that's called Arabesk Intensive, which is Foolproof Volume 2. So we've already added our film. We go into Edit the menu. So here we have our finished menu. We have this eensy-beensy little stamp, which looks dinky-winky. And come on now. What I want to do is I'm going to select buttons up here. And what you're going to do is from scene. But if you want a full motion montage or collage as part of your menu, what you need to do is select scene sequence. That's the developer's language for full motion video clip. And then what we're going to do is select it. So we have to scroll down to where we just created that. Project number 30, which is film number 2, left click OK. And now it shows you the scene bin. There's my finished piece. See, that's why I like naming it, because when you name it, it's very easy to find. And I left click OK. And you're presented with this menu, because I could actually trim it here. So remember how it was 1 minute and 2 seconds long? I could trim it down here, but it's already pre-trimmed. But I want it to be 59.26, so I left click here, and there we go, 59.26. I left click OK, and what we want is you just keep all this information the same. So when the audience clicks on it, it will start the movie, and it will start it on film number 1. The size, however, I'm going to go with a large size stamp. I do also like to add a little button border when I do these kind of things. So you can make a thicker border if you like. You can select a different color. And then I also like to add a drop shadow. Let me move this out of the way so I can see what I'm doing here. A little bit less of a blur perhaps and more of a shadow. And the shadow, you can see, only takes hold once you left click OK. So let me take a moment here and show you a couple of DVDs that I have finished using this process of creating a collage or montage. So let's go ahead and left click into DVD and go to the DVD player. And I've put in a DVD that I burned previously with Arabesk, so it loads that. So here's one of the examples of the videos that I have done for my son's school. And you can see that there is a montage, a collage of full motion video scenes with a crossfade transition between them. And I used one of the Border X products to put that in the background. And then it's complete, you can see, with a video here to start the show. That's the play all button. And then I have a chapter menu or a scene selection button over here. So I think it's a very effective way to create a very nice looking DVD for your menus. So thank you for joining me on this 12 tips for Christmas.